It's still to this day the most generous thing anyone's ever done for me.
It was an unexpected gift as eternal as love itself. The glittering symbol of Kristen and Kyle Upham's marriage was an anonymous present from Paul Walker himself.
When I tell the story to people, they kind of just brush me off like, yeah, okay.
It was back in 2004. Kyle was in the Army and set for deployment in Iraq. Before he left, the couple from Victorville got married. When Kyle returned a few months later, he wanted a new ring for his bride. They made a trip to a high-end jewelry store here in Santa Barbara where they would meet a celebrity whose heart was as big as his wallet.
I noticed there was someone else in there but didn't give it much thought, and we started looking at rings and whatnot, and he kept wanting me to go bigger, and I kept saying, no, look at the prices.
In the store, Kyle struck up a conversation with Walker and figured out who he was.
When we were talking, we exchanged names and, kind of, talked about what each of us did.
And when he found out Kyle just came back from Iraq, I remember seeing the look in his face. It kind of transformed.
Kyle and Kristen ultimately left the store without a ring. A salesperson called them and said, come back.
One of the ladies came out holding a bag and just simply said, here's your ring. And I think both of our mouths dropped.
Someone spent $9,000 to get Kristen the ring she wanted.
And I think after a couple minutes of shell shock, I finally said, well, how? Who bought it? And she just smiled at me and said it was better not to say.
The Uphams saved the gift receipt and suspected Walker was behind the incredible gift. Then they saw our story yesterday where one of the jewelry store salespeople had come forward to tell the story. Their suspicions were confirmed.
We hand down the ring, through the generations. It's always going to be a story to tell.
His real life, I think, speaks volumes of his character. He really did put his money where his mouth is and made sure that he did good for this world.
In Victorville, I'm Tom Waite, CBS 2 News.